Now, there comes a time in life when you're watching football, college football, and there comes a point when you have to fire every damn coach. I have never sat through a season and watched the craziness that has happened in college football this year, and I have nothing else to say. Howdy, everybody. I'm JR,
I'm Stacey.
and we have a special guest. Can you introduce yourself, sir?
Oh, hello, Sparrow's Interview. This is your boy King Jerm, aka the People's Champion, aka one half of Pie Say That Marriage, here with the impromptu guest appearance on Sparrow's Under Review. What's going on, people? How you doing?
Now, King Jerm is our college football. He's our football enthusiast. He's the one that can help anyone with football. If you need to know something, you definitely reach out to him. And it's a phone call that happens at least once or twice a week between all of us about football and different things going on. Sometimes NFL and sometimes, well, we don't talk about arena football. Who cares? Or XFL or any of that shit. Don't cancel me. King Jerm, this season,
Yeah,
we have had an unprecedented amount of highly paid coaches being fired, correct?
yeah, big name schools. It's a business at the end of the day, JR.
Yes, sir. But to me, I'm thinking of one coach in particular. I'd like to start off with Mr. LSU, Monday, October 27th. Mr. LSU, Brian Kelly, a coach that suffered two losses by two of his defensive coordinators, a guy at Vanderbilt and another guy at some other university, Texas A&M maybe, I don't know. How do you feel about Brian Kelly finally being exposed and let go?
It was time. You can't. There's only so long fake thugs can pretend. I forgot which rapper said that. That's pretty much evident in this statement.
Looking at previous coaches, each coach before him won an SEC championship and at least won a national title, correct?
Yes.
And if you can't at least get an SEC championship out of LSU, something's wrong, right?
Well, let's be honest. Outside of that, those years of Coach O winning, Nick Saban winning, and Les Miles winning, like LSU's just been a upper middle of the road program. But for some strange reason, people think this is a top job to have, and I disagree with that. If you look at you can get NIL money at any school. LSU, they're in the capital of Louisiana, a state where the resources ain't that great. The recruiting on the downturn. The city of Baton Rouge is a little bad if you listen to the rap music. So it's not a great job. So that's when people making this LSU's a top five job. I don't agree with it.
Okay. And Stacey, what were your thoughts on hearing that Brian Kelly just got fired after losing to two of his understudies? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't follow in with it as much as you guys do, but whenever you brought it to my attention, I'm like, dang, another one.
Right.
So
But
that kind of leads me into my question. Is this like a normal amount that people are getting fired this year, or is it just that I'm actually paying more attention to it this year?
Typically, you don't have this many coaches getting fired in the middle of the season at big name schools. I think it's only an issue because it's at big name schools. Coaches get fired every year in the middle of the season and the big time programs. What teams have we seen lose coaches this year? We saw Florida, LSU. Who else got fired?
Penn State.
All these big time programs. But the days of coaches staying there 20, 30 years is gone, man. And we just need to understand that it's a business. Coaches are going to get hired and fired. And if you don't produce, because they want it in a microwave. They don't want to build a program anymore. Coaches don't have 3 to 5 years. They might give you 3 years, but 4 and 5 is a stretch if you ain't doing nothing in the first three. So it's not like it used to be where they give you time to get your recruits in, they give you 4 years to get your guys in, to get everything, people to learn your system. Nah, we're not trying to have that. These kids are advanced. It's a 24-hour job, and that's what they expect. And so it's unfair. So you got to recruit kids all day long. Tight end that you recruited to come to school gets unhappy or he wants to get more money somewhere else, you got to woo him in the stand. And it's a tough job. I don't fault any coach for leaving the grind.
I have a follow up question to that. Do you think a lot of the issue with the coaching staff now has to do with all of the changes, like the NIL changes and the playoff changes and the transfer changes?
100%. That is the problem with college NIL and the transfer portal. They're making changes now with the transfer portal, but now it's basically free agency in college football, and that's a problem. And the money is the problem. Yes, I believe the players should get paid, but let's be honest, but they don't need as much as they're getting. Who am I to say that you don't deserve to get 3, 4, 5 million or whatever, 2 million? I'm not the guy to say that, but when money corrupts everything,
Right.
and so.
Okay.
And that's where we at now with college football.
So let's move on to the next big firing. And this hits home with you. A team of yours, the Gators. How does this come about and why was this firing needed? Was this something that should have happened last year? Or what are your feelings on Mr. Napier?
Well, as far as coaching Napier, I, as a recruiter, a person, a human, good guy, the kind of coach that you want, in-game decision maker, he sucks. That was my only issue with him. And during the last postseason, basically he was given an ultimatum, either hire a play caller, the job. Writing was on the. A lot of guys that claim their offensive minds want to go down being an offensive mind. It's something about, if I'm an offensive-minded guy, why would I hire some guy to run the offense if I'm an offensive mind? You see what I'm saying? And so it just didn't work out. What happened?
Right. Essentially losing the state of Florida, teams in particular thus far, which will be South Florida and Miami, which are two games that may not be picked up because of the new SEC schedule. Does it make it hard for Floridians to want to even back the Gators, knowing that Miami and even South Florida, which has had a good run, beating you all, or that team? I'm sorry about that. I didn't know if it's your team or not. But
first of all, JR, we have the number one attendance of all Florida schools, even when we were 4-8. That's the problem with the Gators. We didn't stop going to the games because we was unhappy with our coaches. Even during the bad times, we still show up to the games, selling out 90-some thousand strong, and they don't do that in Miami. Matter of fact, Miami doesn't have a stadium. They come on, man, stop it, JR. So no, Florida does not have a problem. We're the number one draw in the state. Our time's bad, yes, but they're looking up. We got a good team. We just call me crazy. I see us upsetting the Georgia Bulldogs this week. Just because that's how funny the world works out. We got a good defense. We got a good team. It's just going to show, wow, all y'all really need was somebody else to call the plays differently. This man could have saved his job if he would have because we just promoted from within for this game. So we got a game plan we started working on last week. We're going to see what happens, man. We might mess around and upset the Bulldogs. That's all I'm going to say.
Can you beat Florida State?
Absolutely.
See, I think this would be the year for upsets because we've already seen a lot of surprising game endings.
Whoa. So you're saying Florida State could upset us?
No. I'm agreeing with you that your guys can win.
Yeah, we could definitely beat Georgia this year because, one, Georgia is beatable. Georgia is not the Georgia that we saw in that run where they won 2 straight titles. I don't know if they went back-to-back. Yeah, they went back-to-back. This is not that Georgia team. I mean, that team, you can't be that good and have that many people go to the league. Like, you restock the shelves, but these guys are not those guys. These guys are learning to be those guys. So at this point now, I think Georgia is right for the taking. And we sneaky, we can get it done.
All right, now let's talk about a coach out here that was prodding for a while because we see a lot of this happening. A guy that Mr. James Franklin from Penn State. What were your thoughts on him having 12 seasons, never truly living up to an expectation that, there shouldn't have been any expectation because the program has not been a great program in any part of history because of certain activities of certain coaches. 11 plus years. What do you think about him being fired? Was it time for it, or was it just one of those deals where it's just a season and we got to let him go?
It's a business, JR. It's a business. And what these people, the people that's out, not saying I'm an insider, but I understand the nature of the business in college football. People that really matter are the boosters. So if I'm going golfing with my buddies and I'm a Penn State booster and my buddies are Michigan and other schools like that, and I can't brag at the golf thing because we keep losing the big games to our rivals, and that matters more to these people than anything.
Okay.
Losing to the rivals. If you can't beat your rivals in college football, you can't keep your job. So at Florida, you have to beat Georgia. You have to beat Florida State. You have to beat who else is our rival? Tennessee. Those 3 games right there, those 3 games keep your job. If you lose those games consistently, you're gonna get fired. If you're a coach at Georgia, you got to beat Auburn. You got to beat Georgia Tech. You got to beat South Carolina. You got to beat Florida. Those are games you have to win. And then if you don't win those games, you lose your job. James Franklin did not win those games. He got fired. Yes, he had a nice record, 91-45 or whatever it was. Great record. But what was the record against the games that mattered? He was like 4-16.
Right.
That's what got him fired. Not the other losses to, the 4-16 got you fired. That's what we hired you for. We hired you here to beat Ohio State, to beat Michigan on a consistent basis. You're not doing that. You're not bringing, it's not like the resources not there in Happy Valley. They're there. You know what I'm saying? So it's a business, JR. It's a business.
Okay. Is there a firing that either one of you thought was surprising?
Oh, I got a few if y'all don't care. Do you care?
Let's hear it.
All right, and these are like this is across the board. SEC wise, I was really surprised about the whole Arkansas deal. You fire Pittman and you bring in Petrino, and Petrino had a little misconduct issue that led to him being fired initially. The one I was most surprised about, it kind of hurt me, was Mr. Grundy out of Oklahoma State. He'd been there since half of my willing college football watching life. And to see him...
You got to understand, Mike Gundy's a man and he's 40.
Yeah.
You don't get that reference. Never mind, JR.
I get you, bro.
You're going to talk about Mike Gundy and not know his most popular phrase. I'm a man. I'm 40. But keep going, JR. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail your show.
No offense to Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, that one didn't surprise me. I think outside of that, ACC-wise, you had Stanford, Virginia Tech. The UCLA firing didn't get me. I want to say the most shocking for me had to be poor Trent Dilfer out there at UAB. No offense.
I mean, you would think he would get more time since they just reinstated the program years ago. But if he's doing that bad, and Trent Dilfer, they say he was out there partying with the kids or something. So now he got to go.
Okay. What about you, King Jerm? Was there one that surprised you at all?
Not really, man. Just the timing, not really a surprise because these coaches came in this season on the hot seat. We knew Brian Kelly was on the hot seat. We knew Napier was on the hot seat. Franklin, I'm going to say James Franklin of anybody just because I didn't think they would pull the trigger in the middle of the season like this. So I would go with James Franklin would be my most surprised hire. Not that I'm surprised he got fired. I'm surprised Penn State fired him in the middle of the season.
Right. And the amazing thing to me, though, about Kelly, Franklin, and going back to old Jimbo Fisher is these buyouts that have to be paid to these guys. I understand that it's only a few millions between now and the end of the season, but I would have wanted to save my team a little bit of money. Now,
Florida, we have to give Billy Napier half of his money in 30 days, and then the other half we can pay in installments.
Oh, all right, so you can still get by.
Yes,
but
we have an enormous athletic budget at the University of Florida, so don't ever get it twisted.
I mean, you are a Jordan sponsored team, so I will not say anything about that. Now, in closing, just to finish
Sir,
up,
do you know we get residuals off Gatorade, right?
Overall, though, all right, but just to round everything up, what would be the hire that would make the most sense for you? Let's go through the programs one more time. LSU, what would be the hire that would make sense for them?
Jimbo Fisher.
Okay. And elaborate, please.
He should have took the job last time it was open instead of taking the A&M job, but he went for the money at Texas A&M because LSU, the money. He got, $70, $80 million from Texas A&M. Right now, this is where Jimbo, he was offensive coordinator there, and if the job is open, he should take it. He ain't doing that with himself.
All right, what about Florida?
I would like Lane Kiffin because he has that attitude, that swag. He could be reminiscent of a young Steve Spurrier. Now, Lane, he going to have to get him a good defensive coach because defense is his thing. So he will have to let the defense. So I would take Lane Kiffin.
Penn State.
Listen, I don't really concern myself with Big Ten football, JR. So whoever they get as their coach, fine.
All right, what about Arkansas?
Arkansas, give him the job. He can't even save you at a time of need. Promote from within, man. You're Arkansas, man. You can't be like that. Give Petrino the job.
Okay. What about Virginia Tech?
If they fire Beamer in South Carolina, hire Lil Beamer.
Because he could make that program decent.
No, it's just from the namesake. He's a Beamer. He can bring him back to their. He can take over for his dad, man. He's been around the program. He's a Hokie at heart. Bring Little Beamer home.
But we couldn't see. We need Bud Foster back. We can't do it without Bud Foster. That's the whole deal there.
Bud Foster might be around just waiting. Bud Foster Jr. might be around. And then they wait. They might get together and reunite Virginia Tech again. Bring the Hokies back. You know, the noise they be doing at the game.
And lastly, Stanford.
Hire Andrew Luck. He's already at the sideline every game. Just let him coach the game. He's smart enough to coach the team.
Okay, so you can see that. UAB's going to get somebody. Kent State is Kent State. Coach won one game in 2 seasons. Because Kent State, they're a pushover team, but one game out of 20.
You forgot one coach is getting fired.
Who's that?
Mike Norvell. He's getting fired at the end of the year.
Mike Norvell is the Florida State coach. I do not see him being fired.
They said, look, basically, they told him at the beginning of the week last week, we will revisit this at the end of the season, which means you're getting fired.
Right. And I do want to personally give a shout out to the University of Virginia Cavaliers. An amazing ACC season. You're not like my SMU Mustangs. You're actually a quality team. And Georgia Tech. So on that note, King Jerm, I want to thank you for coming along and being a part of the show. Stacey and I love the knowledge pause that we get from you in college football and your know-how of football and everything like that. And we thank you so much for doing this special college edition episode of Sparrows Under Review. And remember, audience, the thing is this. When you're watching college football, you have to have a mindset that King Jerm has, and he will explain it to you in just a moment. You cannot have my mindset and think that every week you're going to make the college football playoffs and then your team loses by 1 point to a scrub-ass team. And what's that mindset, King Jerm?
Have to be realistic, man. No, understand what you're working with. Yes, we are all fans at the end of the day, but be realistic, man. Don't have aspirations. Even after seeing your team get humiliated last year in the college football playoff, you really thought the same teams would come out there and do something different when they didn't upgrade their quarterback position or anything like that? No.
In your quarterback,
but hey.
And one other thing that we have seen is a scientific method and mode. Your quarterback cannot have dreads.
Cannot have dreads.
Cannot. If you play the Dallas Cowboys right now and Milton's in the game, you're going to win.
I'm Dallas Cowboys more than likely. If you're playing against them, you're going to win unless you're the
Shout
New
out
York
the Denver
Jets.
Shout out the Denver Broncos yesterday. My God.
I mean, Cowboys can't find a good quarterback. If they could get a good quarterback in there and give
they have the highest paid player in the league on their team.
It don't matter how much they pay him.
Hey,
he
man,
still sucks.
I'm JR.
I'm Stacey.
Don't forget your part, King.
This is your boy King Jerm.
And we're out of here.